Hello, good evening everyone. Surprise impromptu late stream today. Hopefully that's okay for all our viewers. Let me just share this as usual. As the title suggests, we have a lot of issues when it comes to our image view. Images and buffers and this type of thing. So this is what we're going to be investigating this stream. I hope that's cool. Let me just bring up chat. I've done a little work today. A lot of maths actually. Just because I felt like I needed it. So yeah, let's break into it. So let's bring up RenderDoc, I think. Oops, that's not RenderDoc. So there was this issue yesterday that we solved where images weren't being uploaded to the skybox. Which they are now, right? But only in 2D form. Now, the problem with this is we might end up with a completely different setup than actually what we need. We might have to set up some different bindings. This idea of having like multiple textures for for the same binding, like this aliasing thing, might not work. And I was told it worked in a book, right? But the book that I'm referring to has been unreliable in many different ways. So the correct way to do bindless textures that aren't 2D might be doing something else. And what I'm talking about specifically is this texture. This one here, right? This is supposed to be on a skybox, but it isn't. If we bring back the actual image, where is that? Gone. The whole thing is rendered. Okay, I'm just looking at textures here. So effectively we need to figure out why is our buffer code or the transfer or whatever not working at all. I think it's broken in a subtle way where it's like there's, I think, a small issue, but it's affecting everything. It's affecting images, it's affecting image views, it's affecting buffers, and I think because of those three things that get affected, it's affecting the textures. So, hi Toxic, how you doing, dude? Hope you're having a great day. Just joined us just before we really break into the coding. Just explaining how we need to make sure that everything's going to work with this particular... we're trying to get everything working because there's some loading issue when it comes to our resources. So we're gonna be touching on resource handling today. So yeah, let's break into it. So I'm gonna start off with going over what I did yesterday, more to help myself, but you know, for anyone who's not been aware of what we were doing yesterday. So we removed this freeing of data. We ended up with a dangling pointer here where we deleted the image too early. That actually was correct. We ended up loading. We now have a question mark on this here, which I will talk about later. Yeah, you're doing pretty good. Just killing time before some classes. Fantastic. Yeah. Hopefully I can be that second monitor content for you. Yo, Shadow, how you doing, dude? Hope you're having a great day. Good to see you again. So there's a question mark on this, right? Because a pointer is just a memory address that basically tells us where the start of the memory is. Now, this may not be valid for a... You're doing fire. Fantastic, bro. Good to see you, man. Glad you can make it to the later streams. So yeah, this is just a pointer is literally just an address where the beginning of the memory begins, right? Now, I believe these are contiguous, but I could be wrong. I need to verify this. I do believe it is, but I do need to make sure that my allocator is working properly for this. Nah, this is primary monitor content. Fantastic, bro. Well, hopefully it's at least educational then. Yeah, just fire any questions away if you do need something explaining or wondering what we're up to. Okay, so the other thing we did yesterday is we fixed the image size. So this technically is still not finished, but at least at this point, when we upload an image... Oh, let me put this on shuffle. I don't think I have it on shuffle. So our music is musicking in different orders. Anyway, so we have a width and height times by 4, which is the 4 pixels RGBA. And we also have the how many layers that we're going to work with. And for a cube texture, that is 6. So that gets multiplied by 6 because we have 6 identical textures. Right, so we fixed that. We fixed the layer count needs to also not just be 1, which is what it was before. And the transfer images, we need to transfer all images over. And then, question mark, right? So we're going to investigate the transfer image command. I might even pull this out, to be honest. I think that might be our first task, just to really pull apart what actually is supposed to be happening here. So for our staging buffer, we need to transfer the image from undefined to transfer optimal, and then from that we need to transfer it to read only in shader. Okay, so that's the ideas, but it's possible that my memory transition. So that is the memory transition. What I mean is the memory access patterns. So these things, the access masks and the destination masks, could be wrong, and it's hard for the validation layers in Vulkan to pick up this particular type of error because it's a bit subtle, right? What type of memory needs to be transferred from where is a bit finagly, right? So I'm going to probably investigate that today. And do we do anything else apart from that? I think we did. We did a little extra. So that's what I just showed you. Let's go down here. What did I change over here? Oh, yeah. For depth, obviously the layer count is 1, so that's pretty straightforward. Fuck, my arm hurts after spamming that emoji. Reactions. Thanks, Shadow Dev. Honestly, appreciate that. I do. If I don't catch it while streaming, I do see it in the basically after the stream. It tells me, like, you know, how many viewers and all that kind of stuff. If you have spammed the reaction button, it does tell me. There is a massive spike. It usually says, like, I don't know, 200 clicks. So, you know, it's very much appreciated. I do appreciate that, honestly. Yeah, hopefully your arm is not too numb. Right, okay, so what to do first. Okay, so I'm going to look into what these transfer functions do and then try and parse basically how are they doing the access mask slash thing. Okay, so it says the destination mask for, okay, so we have top of the pipe and the transfer bit stage, which is pretty early on. Let me just pull up my notes on the pipeline stages. I don't really have it here, I don't think, because this is just for the graphics pipeline. But let's look up then the actual stages from top to bottom. So I just want to see, just to make sure that we're transferring at the right time. Vulkan pipeline stages. So this is different from the graphics pipeline. This is to do with the commands that go through the pipeline. Yes, we need this picture. So we have this, right? Now it's a bit confusing, but often we can just skip a lot of these. Like we can skip all these tessellation and geometry. So what I'm after is the transfer bit. Where does that happen, in what order? So we have. So this can go to the vertical fragment shader, legend, fix function. Okay, so they're not used. Minor. Oh, so descriptor sets. I think they're all together. That's what that means. Import and color. Oh, interesting. So that's good to know that the blending. Do I know Theo? Are you talking about that guy on YouTube who talks basically about tech news? Kind of like a Primogen type guy? If that's who you're referring to, yes, but not well. I would say I've watched a couple of his videos, and yeah, he's a cool guy as far as I can tell. No, unless he's come out being cancelled, I have no idea. I haven't followed him that closely, but I'm from what I've heard, he's been awesome. Because I do like that content, but I don't watch it all the time, admittedly. Because I feel like it's a bit side tangentially related. It's not quite what I need to be watching, if that makes sense. I need to be watching, you know, Vulkan programming videos if I'm going to watch tech videos at all. Yeah, he's cool though, 100%. But I like his comment section talking about Obsidian. Ah, I see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Obsidian's sick. It's one of my favorites. I think it's one of like more recent best decisions I've ever made. Okay, so we're just gonna and what I'm gonna do is search the actual transfer bit because I don't see it in this diagram, and I think scrolling through that documentation is gonna take way too long. So let's see. What does it say about this? Okay, so it's there. Okay, so that specifies the following commands. All copy. Okay, so all copy commands: blitz, resolve image, and clear. Okay, so this might be early on, which is interesting. So that's why I think top of the pipe is probably preferable. So the source and the destination. So the source at here we have 0, which is fine because we haven't done anything yet. We have a transfer to right afterwards, and we do this after nothing. Sorry, nothing can do a transfer bit. Okay, and then when we want to do a transfer to shader read optimal, we take. I do like Obsidian for making Claude code reports, like what we were doing, the issues in my architecture. Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. I've never seen it integrated with AI. Is that like a plugin that you can use, or do you just kind of copy and paste stuff? Anyway, so we have transfer read. We have okay, so that goes to shader read, which makes sense, I think, and then the fragment status stage. Now, if we've okay, let me think about this. So the early fragment bit and the late fragment bit had to do with depth testing. I've got to remember that. The output color is to do with the output of the fragment shader, and so that means the pipeline stage fragment shader bit is to do with the color attachments, but processing, I believe. And that used to be read, BK shader read bits. Out from transfer. So we do the transfer. Nah, it's just a Obsidian Vault folder. It is simple if you direct Claude code. I see. Okay, so Claude knows what that is. Cool. Yeah, as long as it makes you a better programmer, I'm all for it. Whatever you end up using AI for. Just don't let it replace your thinking and you should be good. AKA solving the problems for you. Okay, let me think. I think this is good, to be honest. I don't see any issue, but I've got to challenge my assumptions here. And the sub-image barrier resource, I think we've gone through this like 1,000 times. It is 0 to 6. Okay, so let's bring back our debug build and all that kind of stuff and just start running things again. And I'm going to put like a breakpoint in. I'm going to step through code. And I'm going to see how to fix this type of stuff one step at a time. So right, so we have main now. Okay, so the next thing I need to figure out actually before we do that is array allocated in a contiguous fashion? Meaning, when we allocate memory, are the arrays back to back in one block of memory? That may not be the case, because if I malloc, for example, 8 bytes, and then Amalek another 8 bytes. It's possible that they're close to each other. It's possible that they're in completely different places. Let me turn this down a little bit. Let me just turn this a bit loud for me. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. Heyo, how you doing, Ratchet? Glad you can make it. I just use Nearvim Markdown for my notes. Nice. For my math notes, I use my Kindle. Interesting. Math notes. I didn't know you could do that kind of thing on a Kindle. I've got a neglected Kindle that hasn't been used in ages. All right, so let's look at the memory allocation for this array structure, because if it's not contiguous in memory, then passing the pointer with the multiple different you know what I'm gonna do, actually? I've got an idea. Instead of, let's assume this is wrong, right? All other textures in my code use this structure, so I'm not gonna be, you know, panicking about this. So let's just, instead of a pointer to memory, let's say image 1. And this is guaranteed to return the pointer of the beginning of this piece of memory, which this pointer points to. And I've also, this is another thing that's important, I've used this as an argument here, passed by reference. So when we allocate the memory into this thing, into this array, it doesn't go away, if that makes sense. So yes, the texture is created, but I want to make sure of absolutely certain that we're not going to get a dangling pointer by having an array type structure here that gets popped off the stack, right? So here we go. Okay, so let's run. Let's get that building. So yeah, there is a difference between outsourcing work to AI 100% and using it as a thinking partner. Yeah, I know when you feel discomfort, I'll fix that in a minute. When you feel discomfort, your work, it means your learning is happening. Fantastic. Yeah, at least you got that in your mind. Ari, the message you were confused about earlier, you're storing pointers instead of data. To the images as base. Okay, so why is this broken? Read access violation. I'm just gonna, yeah, let me do a call stack. I'll come to that message in a minute, Ratchet. I definitely, what we'll do as well, Ratchet, we'll I'm gonna look at my regular texture loading code and then compare the difference and see if that is able, if that's able to upload textures via staging buffer and all that kind of stuff, then we should be able to see like a pattern that's like usable, that the cube map is not following. And I will be very hyper aware of, like, are we dealing with pointers? Is it memory? Is it actual real memory that we're transferring from one thing to another? So yeah, this is what we're going to be tackling today. I'm going to make no assumptions on anything working, right? Today is going to be everything's UB. And we're going to assume that that even the fact that textures are working at all is UB right now. Hopefully that's understandable. Oh, I see. So we're trying to make it, yeah. So this is too big, I think. This is too big for the memory that we're setting in. As far as I can probably tell from this structure, so we can't do what I wanted, which is Sag, but let's go back. This is quite an easy fix. If I open up my set this layer count to 1. I don't know how this is going to work with the cube map. No, this is not going to work with the cube map. We're just going to get a validation error. Let me think. We need to have layer count 6 for setting up the image view. If we use an image, a thingy type. So let me think how to do this. I want it to be, I want the image size to not include, okay, so what I'm going to do then is instead of we're gonna have a hack in just for temporarily. So for this image size, we're just gonna make it. Oops. I want to duplicate. Control D. There we go. Gonna comment out the correct one, and then we're just gonna say this is deleted for now, and that should always be 1 if that makes sense, right? So layer count 1. So when we create the staging buffer and we copy data to it, we are copying the right amount. But when we create an image resource, this may break for the image copy transfer command. Now I think about it, but this is tricky because you've got to. Okay, let's. Yeah, I think that's just gonna break. So I want the transfer and the copies to be hard coded to 1 instead of 6, but I want the image views that get created from that data that gets uploaded to be 6, because I want to check that the data that I'm uploading from the cube map texture, is it contiguous or not? Is it actual memory or not? Is it a pointer or not, right? All textures go through this code, and they're fine when it's 1. But, yeah, this needs to be 1 as well, because we're not going to try and copy 6. But the rest, I think, is going to be 6 as far as I think. Anyway, so if that works, then I'm happy. I think this layer count's used in different places. Well, I hope it is. Otherwise, we're going to get the validation error of, you said cube map and you said 1 instead of 6. This is not very good, by the way. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see, right? Perfect. That's actually really good. That's actually progress, right? Let me just get out of here. So that means there is data being uploaded as far as I can tell, right? But there's only 1 texture. The downside is I don't think it's correct. I don't know how it's sampling over this. But anyway, next thing, I think that pretty much tells us that at the very least we are uploading textures and it is able to do it. But I don't know what 1 image of a cube map should look like, to be honest. Don't know. Okay, so next is, after that, we're going to investigate. What are we going to investigate? So that confirms that we're actually sending data up to the GPU. But when it, and the cube map is created with 6, so it's not the cube map creation that's breaking. It seems to be something else, right? No, I'm just curious if this, when I'm sending up this data, is it contiguous? That's the next thing. So I'm gonna try and, very simple, just I don't know, try a different index. Then just see index 4, this should be 0 to 5, so this should be a valid piece of texture. For a simple test case, alright. GG's, bye guys. Yeah, have a good rest of the day, have a good class. Hopefully you learn stuff and it isn't boring. Thanks for... Oh, sorry, you're someone else. My bad. Sorry, Shadow there. See you, dude. Have a good rest of the day. That was toe kick, so... toe sick even. Anyway, for a simple test case, try uploading the same image to each... Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, that's really clever. You'll need to perform 6 copies with image layer 1. Okay, yeah, that's actually really smart. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's because we need to debug this, and it's difficult to check. So let's. So we already can do 1, right? So now we have to kind of have a bastardized version of this, and we're just gonna have to do it 6 times in a row, which is terrible, obviously, but yeah, this is a really good test case. That's really smart. Let's do that and just see how the memory gets to the GPU. Obviously we're gonna have to make another function and have a different name. I'll call it temp, right? So it's like really obvious that we're not going to use it. Temp. And yes, it's going to be... So that's going to be used, and then we go to our main. Very simple, we're just going to use temp instead. So that's a, yeah, it's really smart. Let's so we're going to throw in the data, right? Whoa, 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 whoa. Press control. I know you can do it in one single command with sync to copy lol. Oh, okay. I mean, I just don't know off the top of my head what would that command be, but we'll do it the simplest case, and then we can obviously improve efficiencies. Okay, so we have 6 images coming through, and we need to do this 6 times. So this is 1, right? Now, how do we index through this array of data that we end up sending through? I think what I might do is just send the array in here, and then we can loop through that array. I think that's the go here. That's the simplest to get the data in. So array. I think it's a const array. Alright, so uint 8t, let me just do a reference so that images, I guess, doesn't need to be complicated. So this is just so we don't have to do anything weird, right? There's no fanciness, we're just sending in the data that needs to be uploaded. So this guy, we're not going to use initial data. Initial data is just a big chunk of memory. And it's not it's like that this is a pointer to something arbitrary in memory. So it's indexing through it is kind of like, it doesn't make any sense anymore. I think this gets assigned to a void star anyway. Yeah, so we actually lose our ability to index through. So our idea is we pass in the array, and you only need to do a layout transition once, but a copy 6 times. Fantastic. Let's that makes sense. Yeah, that makes total sense actually. Because we just set up 2 memory barriers, and then we're off to the races. Yeah, thanks for debugging this with me as I think about something else. i.e. making this function work. Okay, so yes, because I would have initially tried to transfer 6 images, which is not what I want to do. So we need to be careful here. We need to create 6 buffers, I believe, as far as I can tell. So source, we create staging buffer, which is the thing I need to have 6 of. Staging allocator. I don't know if we need multiple of them. Okay, let's just we need, I believe, 6 of these guys now. At the very least, I don't know if we need multiple staging allocators. So what I'm gonna do is for int, I'm gonna create 6 of these mofos. We just take this. You can specify an offset into a buffer in the copy command. Ah, I see. Is that the... Huh, let me think. Okay, I'll come back to that. I will... Oh, yeah, you're right. Hang on. This is what the offset is, isn't it? Destination local offset. Yeah. Alright. No. That's no. You did mean offset, but that's if we had the total memory here, and we wanted 6 buffers, and then we want to do a image is. I want the size of the image. So this is one image size, I think. So then we go... Okay, so... We have the total memory here. Let's see if we can do this. This will be kind of cool. Int 32. Yeah, just you gotta stay with me for a minute. I'll just put 6 for now. Obviously, magic numbers are bad. I'm aware. Okay, I was just making sure the music was working. Okay. So, image size. The image size is going to be... No, we want total buffer size as well, so we actually want both. Total buffer size. That is something like that, you know. This is 6. This is going to be 6 for this. Sorry, we want this in here. And then we're going to index through... I assume this is what it means. It means, yeah, for each thing times by I. So it's 0, and then 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. And then we get a staging, but I hope this is how it works. We'll have memory in and out of this. Anyway, so staging buffers. I'm gonna see if this initial memory works first, right? Where's the... Yeah, let's just go through this. I'm gonna try, like I said, I'm gonna try and use initial data. If this works, we'll see. VK. Okay, so that's the image copy command. Got ya. Thank you. Thanks, Ratchet. I will. That is later on. That is down here. At the moment, I'm just making the staging buffers and getting the memory into the staging buffers. But that's gonna be super useful in a minute. Assuming this works. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the help again. Okay, so that didn't work. Why? Oh, right. We're gonna have to just comment this out for a minute. Come back to it. Whoops. I only need one staging buffer in this case. So we just make the staging buffer bigger. It contains everything. And then we buffer offset. Is that what you're trying to do? Is that what we're trying to do? Is that what you mean? Sorry. Create one buffer, copy all the data into it, offset into it. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that. So instead of creating 6 buffers, what we're going to do is we're going to make one big buffer, which we did anyway, so this is actually going to work fine. Oops, I need to bring back the thing I just deleted. What I need to delete is this. So it looks like, as far as I can tell, I think this is a better move, yeah. I'm a bit scrambled at the moment, so just bear with me. This is 0. Alright, so that's literally everything. Okay, so the buffer offset is this copy guy. Instead of copying one image, we're going to offset into the individual images. So let's just have a look at the... So we have command buffer, source image, destination image, P region. I think this is what we're interested in. So the region of memory that we're actually interested in is built up here. We have... There must be an offset in here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so... So we're going to do this 6 times. This is the 6-time thing. Hello. Yeah, late stream. Yes. Maybe. It's a big maybe at the moment. This, if we're going to copy everything, this has to be a... Okay, so let's take images. Yeah, I thought, Kalia, I was getting in my own head, and I was like, you know what? Screw it, we're just gonna do it anyway. We'll use that, right? That's still a pointer, but it's not. We're not. It's one less layer of indirection. So that is the actual array. But if we're gonna copy the whole array, that's the only way I know how to get the whole data out. And I know it's a pointer, but it's gonna return a void star to the thing that gets in. What is it called? So let me just take us back here, right? So when we actually use SDB load or whatever, based on, it actually loads it into this array. No, sorry, that's a big fat lie. It loads from these images, and it returns the actual image data. Then it gets pushed into this array as a uint 8, right? So we only have the pointer, I'm aware. But this image hasn't been deleted. We're not doing a delete or anything like that. So we're not having a dangling pointer. This pointer is valid. If we do .data like we did here, we're kind of we're assigning another pointer to the data. Effectively, we're avoiding this extra step. What I could do is literally, this pattern in my code has worked, but I'm willing to assume that it's not going to work at the moment. Yes, I've had my dinner, so yeah, we are all good. Have you eaten yet, Kalia? I know it's I don't know how late it is in Azerbaijan, but I imagine it's quite late. I don't know. It seems like you're copying. Seems like you're copying an array of pointers into the staging buffer and not the image data. I believe it's contiguous. 10 p.m. Yeah, I'm usually in bed by that point. So I assume you've already eaten as well. Okay, so it should be contiguous. That's what I'm gonna say should. If I do right, I did listen to what you said yesterday, right? And what I did yesterday is go, okay, yeah, we're gonna do it like this. The problem is this comes back with a void star pointer. Well, sorry, not a void star. Basically an unsigned char, right? And if you use this image in any other context, it does work. Okay, so we fell out the music. What the heck? Let me just fix my playlist. I don't know what is going on. So I'll just skip the next. So I don't know what was going on then. Okay. Cool. Alright, thank you. Okay. Let's actually get some tunes, bro. Okay, cool. So, you know, I could dereference this, but dereferencing a pointer is just a number. Like, it's not like... Oh, you're having dinner at the moment. You're like an owl, I see. I'm the opposite, admittedly. If I dereference this all we get is a number, right? Because a pointer dereferenced, if it's pointing to a piece of memory, it's not like an array. Well, it's... I don't know if I could index into it. I think I have messed with it and tried to do a rectangle copy in the past. This is a long time ago now. So the images can be messed with. Sorry, the pixels can be messed with. Like if I do like this or something like that, right? But just dereferencing it, like that ain't it. That ain't it. So I'm just gonna continue on with this for now. There's no way to get like pixel data out in a format of like, because I know you use what is it called? KXT or KTX. Yeah, image data is an array. Yes. Well, that's true. What you said there, Ratchet. But yeah, let's. And you've got to remember as well, this works with one image. This whole system works with one image. So it's 6 images that don't work, seemingly. So anyway, let's continue what we were doing. So we have a staging buffer that has all the memory in, but we're gonna copy 6 images over instead of 1. That's our goal. 1, 2, it's 2, 3, and then a nice duplicate. And each time we do this, we need to actually let's do a for loop. This will be easy to keep track of. Yes, you could. Oops, that's not how you spell for. You could argue that I'm unrolling the for loop by just doing everything in one sequence, but considering I'm recording to a command buffer, that argument doesn't work. Anyways, so I equals 0, I is less than image is dot size. But I am willing to break my assumptions here. So let me think about how to rebuild this region struct every single time, which I believe is only used here, which is great. So I don't think there's going to be much changed here, but let's get rid of this for a minute so we don't get a redefinition issue. We just need to increase the offsets by image size x I, right? So each image in a cube map is completely the same. It's the same in size, and I actually don't know. I could be making a mistake here when assuming these are correct, but they are the same size. But are they the same in memory? That's the next question. So can I copy this out? Yes. Okay. Let's throw this in Notepad. And so if I did a multiply by 2, oops, we would get to no. So interesting. We have to do something else. That's not going to work because one number is different from the other, right? Okay, so we're going to have to index through this very differently. We can't just assume that the image size. We have to recalculate it to do the offset. So I'll put that back to 0 for a minute, and we're going to use our image array. This actually might be the correct way of doing them. And okay, so we need to know how big this thing is. So when I do I, for example, I need to know the size of this. Now, obviously, size of will return. I want to do this. I don't know if this is going to work. This, I always get this wrong. So array size, like this. Oh no, that's the array size. I want the memory. That's just gonna give me the whole size. That's just gonna return 6. That's not what I want to do. I want to get. How do I get the total memory size of something? So when I do this, I want to do kind of like. I know this is wrong, but basically this. That's the idea I'm trying to get. Now that's just going to return the size of an unsigned char, so that's not correct. I feel like that's more consequences of your own allocator. If I were using the libc allocator here, I'd have a memory access violation. Yep. That's a PNG. Yep. You already have the size of one layer. Yes. But if each individual image that I've copied over is a different size in the array, and I just then increment by 6 based on the one layer image size, then the buffer's not going to be right. Let's just say like one image is 2 bytes and the next image is 7, and then I just increment by 2 each time, it's gonna go wrong. It's not a different size as... Interesting, isn't it? Okay, there. I'll trust. So this is one image. XI. Maybe we're going off the deep end. Okay. Right. So first things first, let's step through this. I'll trust. Nice. Yeah, if it's the same, if it's literally the same size each time, we won't have an issue. So 2 different sizes. I just hope the numbers don't get too big. Now I believe this works. This, oops. Oh, I believe this does not work. Ah, right. When I'm creating this, there is something I have to do differently. Ah, buffer size. That's the one. Yeah. There it is. That's the mistake. Easy to make. So I'm allocating a buffer that's too small. At least this separates the code that we've been changing from the what is it called? The actual regular texture code. Right, cool. So we have a staging buffer, in theory, with the data in. Alright. Next, build a command buffer. Have a transfer command. Now, this should be obviously 0. So I think the first copy is going to be completely chill. And then, yeah. Now what is this one? Hang on. Just a wee sec. Region count. Okay, yeah, so there's only one region. And it said right after read hazard. Huh. Oh, right after write. Sorry, how he's read it was right after read initially. VK command copy to buffer writes to image. Oops. Which was previously written by another. Are you sure this is a good idea? Escape point. Let me go back. Let's read that again. Right after write hazard detected. VK copy to image, copy buffer to image writes to which has previously been written by another copy to image command. Are we not offsetting? Hi, Dietrich Gertz, how you doing? Good to see you, my man. Oh, I forgot to change this. I found a bug poking around in C# for a recent released game. Oh, nice, dude. And I'm anxious about reporting it. Oh, because the devs seem very protective over the game secrets, lol. Make it I. Yeah, I honestly wish you luck with that. I really hope that that ends up happening. Okay, so, whoops. Let's go. Let's do number 2, so we don't get right after right. Good job we have synchronization turned on, eh? That would be a big issue. Let's go after. So we already know that works. Okay, so this and then okay. I'm gonna go to here, see if the well, it's all recorded at the moment, so we'll. Right, so I assume yeah, that works. So yeah, breaks. Okay. Aspect mask, blah blah blah. To be in destination optimal. It's in undefined. Okay. That's pretty straightforward. We just need to put these inside if it wants it to be. So each image clearly just needs to be transferred. Each time we do this for each image. Huh, interesting. I wonder... do we need 6 textures? Right, we'll just throw this in for now. And I'm just going to see how this works. Now, Ratchet might be screaming at me right now, but I want to just see it break. Yeah, I agree. It's very sus. Okay, so... so let's just see it break and what the errors are. Is it the same error? Indeed it is. Okay, so this is unreliable. So what do we... So it... Unless... Which image is this? Destination transfer... Sorry. So it's not transitioning from the... It's not the first transition. Right. Format. What's this? Format. I honestly just want to put it in general to see... just to see it work, to be honest. But it might be an imposter. Let me think. What image are we transferring here? So it's the image, right? Or is the image? Yeah, it's the actual image. Okay. I mean, obviously we can pull this out and like make it work. But before we do that, I just want to make sure that we're what are we even transferring here? And what needs to be... I honestly believe that if I look at the... So, command buffer, source buffer, destination image. Now, if we're going to make 6 of these guys... if we're copying them individually 6 times over... I assume the idea is that we're incrementing each time into a larger and larger image view buffer. Which means this should have transferred. Completely chill. Let me investigate where this actually goes. Oh, I bet we just return texture, don't we? No, we return a handle. Okay. Oh, no. So this is the actual thing we're doing the transition on, as far as I can tell. And... It isn't working, obviously, but let me think. I'm not entirely sure... What's the last argument? Is depth? No, it's false. Right, okay. So you're seeing this, right? Yeah, that's right. That is true, that's only what it does. Okay, so... Alright, let's pull this out. So I'm just going to copy this all out. I'm going to delete a bunch of code. So we're going to do what we did last time, effectively, when we were dealing with memory barriers. But now we're a bit more educated. Right, okay, where were we? Down here. Now, we're not interested in basically all this, but we're going from, where is it? Undefined to transfer. Oh, destination, it's the top one. And we go from destination to read only. Okay, so these two. I'm just going to keep these around because we're going to extract them both. So let me just duplicate some code and put this down here. And obviously we're going to get this out the way. This is actually what we're going to be transferring. Okay, and come back to that in a minute. We don't want this one here, which is the destination to optimal. Yeah, so yeah. Okay. Next is to grab this, make it small, get rid of anything to do with depth, because this is not depth. It never is, because it's texture related. Old layout. So this is the VK image layout undefined. Undefined, where is it? Really? It's not here. Alright, layout. Undefined, there it is, okay. And then we're going to change this to destination transfer optimal. Well, that's the image of this fella. And bring this all together so we can see it. Image layer count is 1. Okay, obviously this is still not correct, but I just want to make sure it's as correct as it can be at the moment. So I want to basically set up a an image barrier for one image, and then we'll do for 6 later. So yes, the access mask. I believe this is correct. I don't have any reasons to doubt this particular piece of code. And yeah, let's go to version 2, because version 2 has it's like way better. Because it has everything in. It reduces the command line arguments by quite a lot in that function. Right, so I'm just going to copy this here just for reference. We want... So we're doing top of pipe. I'm just going to take the same deal. I know top of pipe can be not ideal. And we do fragment, the fragment shader test. So fragment, late, early. There it is. Okay, the shader. And there. I'll put this in where it makes sense. And right, let's grab this. Our lovely. Oh yeah, we need the dependency as well. Use this properly. We can get rid of this now, I believe. And we're going to take a barrier. Image count 1. Dependency. Yeah, this looks fine to me. Right. Okay. Right. Obviously, yes, this is bad, but one image at a time. So you might have to do like a transfer command every single thing. Every single for loop. Okay, so we just need to go down here. Kind of have the same setup, but instead we just need the old barriers. Okay, so this needs to be destination, and this needs to be read. Where's the shader read? Shader read. No, let's read only. Depth, stencil, shader read. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to read this in a shader. And again, I'm just going to steal the same setup as earlier. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Yes, we need to do color. I think we got a redefinition of barrier here, which is going to be a pain. But so color 1. Oh, what am I doing? Just delete this. So don't think that's correct. I'm going to go from transfer read to shader read. Okay, done that. And next is transfer bit. So yeah, we need the transfer, which is the really. Yeah, that's right. So we need to be waiting on the transfer, and the fragment bit can't start until the transfer is finished. So transfer. Okay, sounds good. And we get rid of this. We get rid of this. The dependency thingy. So these are both gonna be a pain in the neck. So this is the barrier for. So I'm going to set this to 1 as well, just to see if this works. This whole chain. And then we're going to do it to 6 and see if it needs to be inside to do this guy, which I do think is true. But anyway, get rid of this. It's important. And to get this to work, so this needs to be transfer. Oops. Or staging, maybe. Yeah, that's better now. Staging. Go down here. And I'm going to name this to staging. Just. I'm not entirely sure if resetting this. I'm being a bit overly protective here, where I'm going to actually make 2 things unique. But I want to make sure that this is legit. Just gonna not cause any compilation issues for no reason. So I'm just gonna close image barrier image. So this is the actual. We're taking our lovely image that we've done, transferring this to an image we can use in the shader, which is nice. Okay, so if that is correct, I'm going to put a breakpoint here. We should be okily dokily with this, I think. Alright, let's go. Let's see. So, we take the image and we do a thing. No, I didn't like that. Oh, yeah, okay. That's a very, very easy mistake to fix. Whoops. Whoa, wouldn't it copy? Interesting. Copy. So I'm using. I just need to use 2 instead of 1. And this goes true for this as well. Nothing interesting there. But it's good. It's good that the validation's caught it. I don't even know if. I wonder if the S-type. If you ever get the S-type wrong, is there ever a situation where things break? Okay, what's the next issue? Right. So this needs to be _2 instead. at the access point. Oh, not 3. We're not that far ahead in the future. I was wondering. Okay, next. Right, that might not be the error, but I just want to rule it out. Simple fix. I think I just need to put a breakpoint here, to be honest. Nope. Okay, so dependency access mask transfer is not supported by the stage mask. Interesting, is not. Oh, have I got this mixed up? Shouldn't this be transfer, right? Give me a second. So we're trying to change a staging buffer so it's destination optimal. Before we do any transfers in any future commands, this needs to be... yeah, I don't know why it's fragment shader. Doesn't make any sense. Surely it's transfer. Because we can't do a transfer with any future commands until our image layout has been transferred in memory. So this is as far as I can tell what I actually need to do. Let's do that again. And this would match up with the transfer write memory. Right, sure. What have we got? F10. Yep, okay, that was the issue. And again, we're just going to go through this once. So everything, yep. Okay, so now we have old layout. So something should have been copied. Now we just need to transform the memory. So transfer read to. Yep. Oh yeah. So I just made probably a typo. So the source destination mask. I think it's the wrong way around. I think that's the wrong way around. Let me just hopefully get a validation error. Yeah. I think that's the wrong way around. So yeah, I'm trying to do I'm pausing the fragment shader, which I don't think is even the right order. This is the wrong order completely. I believe we need to go from source to we need to wait on the destination, and then we can't go any further than the shader. The shader right, we can't let the shader go shader right go any further. So let's do it again. And we're starting here. So we don't have a pipeline barrier bubbly thingy happening. Yes, okay, that was correct. Now, does it work? That's the question. So submit and execute. Yes, okay, that worked. So we do have a successfully transferred one image, which is fantastic. Actually, we can just see... What would that look like? Don't know. What's that going to do? Might get an error somewhere else. And... nothing, okay. Okay. But at least we have the correct transfer barriers thing, and we're using barrier 2. Okay, so we do need to check out this sub-resource thing, because otherwise base array, like I don't know when to do the base array. Does it need to happen every single time we do a copy? Or not? That's the question I want to ask. Right, so we have... What's base array doing specifically? Is the first... No, that's the wrong one. Is the first array layer accessed to the view? So if we're doing one at a time... Right, I'm just going to set this to 6 and just see the error again. I just want to see what was the issue. What did we have? What was the issue? So it says that command buffer blah blah expects image something space cube to be in destination optimal, but it's not. Okay. And what would that mean? So this is the first thing that's visible. So so apparently, according to Ratchet in chat, this needs to be incremented by 1. But that means we would have to do a pipeline barrier for each command, which doesn't make sense. Isn't the whole point of setting up pipeline guys? We just set them up for 1. I feel like I need 6 textures as well. That's the other thing. Because if we have... Ratchet knows a lot. He does. He's very talented. I am a bit stuck here. Yes, 100%. So if we're doing 1 image at a time... Alright, let's just see. Let's just see. What I'm gonna do is just throw these in the for loop, increment by 1. See if the transfer works. In the base array thingy. Whoops, let's get everything. Dun, 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 dun. These are always my favorite tracks in the Crash 3 Warped franchise. Alright, so right, what are you gonna do? It works, but nothing displayed. Now we need to go and render doc and see what's popped up now. Right, let's go and render doc. Yeah, honestly, I appreciate Ratchet a ton. It's crazy. Is not what I expected when I started streaming. I expected basically 1, nothing, and 2, like for some reason I don't know why I got this in my own head, like a bunch of hate. It's been literally the complete opposite. It's been a pleasure having people with experience and people who are new coming into the streams. I guess I'm always in my own head about the worst things going to happen. That being said, I could get a bunch of hate in the future. Who knows? I haven't got a bunch of hate yet. let's be optimistic about that. Hey, I learn better from other people's experience. Yes, it does help a ton. Right, so let's see what render doc is spitting out in our texture viewer. Right. New. Hopefully it doesn't not work in a minute. Right, so we should have 6 individual images. Cool. I don't think I changed the shaders, did I? No. Well, that better be what's in the fragment shade. I can just check. I know I can't. It's compiled. Oh, whatever. Let's just run it back. Right, okay. Let's see, render doc. So, launch application, load settings. People on other streams sometimes go crazy. Really? Mad. I watched like 10 other people's... Oh, really interesting. Okay. But mine's the best, right? Wink, wink. Yeah, I'm in the top 10 of the 10 streams you watch. In 10th place. Right, so what do we have? We have nothing, but I wonder if it's anywhere else. Let's see. There's no textures there. There's no textures there. So you should see this. Yes. Right, let me think. Okay, so let's do what we were gonna do with the staging buffer, I think. So we're gonna have smaller staging buffers, and we're gonna try and transfer one texture up at a time in the cube map, and then hopefully we get somewhere. Right. So my project is based on C++ and Vulkan. Hell yeah, dude. So four people are in my favorites list. Love that, dude. No, I'm only joking when I say stuff like that. I know you're a great guy and you appreciate what I do, so you know, big up on that, 100%. And I really wish you the best, honestly, with your projects. You know, if I become the air quotes worst in our community, when it comes to like Vulkan programming, because everyone is so excellent, that's like peak. That would be like legendary. So I really do actually wish that anyone who is watching, including Kalia, that you do absolutely crush it when it comes to your Vulkan and C++ and other programming pursuits. Yeah. Yeah, you'll get there, you'll get there. Right, okay, so let's make the small staging buffers, and then how are we going to use these differently? So we're not going to use the offset anymore. We're just going to transfer staging buffers one at a time. So instead of indexing into this, we're just going to index into a different staging buffer. Right, okay, let's do that. So that didn't work, and we know it didn't work. So now we know to try what I was going to do originally. We're going to have 6 staging buffers. I'm going to have a staging buffer here, which is going to be outputted. I don't know if... So for each staging buffer we need way less memory. And the actual data we're going to put in is going to be this I. And yes, okay, so next is... No, this is fine. This is what we want. I think everything's just the same. We're just going to index through staging buffers. We're just going to not have an offset. But we are going to have this, I believe, for the layer count? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, I'm in release. Let me get out of release. So... Oh, okay, it didn't work anyway. Void... Ah, okay. Alright, I'm just going to lazily comment this out just to see if it does anything. Instead of making another... let's make another for loop. Let's not be that lazy. It's not like typing a for loop is going to be... my hands, I can't handle a for loop. Right, okay, so... Not 9, 0, I is less than 6, plus I. And throw this in here. Okay, so staging buffer, deleted. Oh, and we have another. What are you complaining about? I'm gonna assume that's not anything. But anyway, we need to go to debug anyway. Not release. I mostly look streamers who actually are willing to help and have a great personality. Yeah, appreciate that, dude. Yeah, honestly, it's sick that you're here, and it's awesome. In general, I do not follow or watch people who do not want help at all. Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm totally... To assume that I'm, like, good enough that I don't need help is an arrogant move on another level, right? Especially, people see my level of experience. Frosty, how you doing? Watching you on my iPhone 15 Pro in my dorm room. Hell yeah, bro. Hopefully you're having a good day at school and stuff. Whatever you're up to. I'm glad you're here. Right, okay, so we've done everything, I think, for staging buffers. 6 staging buffers. I think we're transferring each staging buffer, I believe. The thing is, I think we need like 6 images, but I hope I don't, if that makes sense. I really hope that I'm able to write to different... let me think. Let me look at this thing here, because I really hope that we end up copying parts of a buffer to a larger buffer, if that makes sense. What I don't want to see is we're copying images over to a buffer that has to be the same size as the image that we're copying over. I don't watch your videos. I've been listening to them for hours. Sometimes something about the British voice while working on my own stuff. I know what you mean. I literally know what you mean. I do the same thing, and it's good to have you here, Silvered. I appreciate the support and stuff like that. Because it is helpful. I know it seems strange, but I like to pretend sometimes that I'm in a work environment with other programmers that I see online. And it's like I know it seems odd, but it seems to help with productivity. Right. Okay. So let's really dig into this for a minute. So offset size is the offset in bytes from the start of the buffer's object where the image data is copied to. Okay. Right. Buffer row length. Okay, I think we can safely skip these. Right, this is going to be 0 because we have staging buffers, right? But we want a bigger image. Hang on, let me see something real quick. How big is this image when we create it? Is there a create image beforehand or something? Because what I don't want is to create an image that's too small. And that's entirely possible if I don't get this right. So let me just it's more the actual image itself. So is the image memory info? No, that's not it. So here's the struct, right? Now I'm kind of wondering, right? Does this need to be 6 times the width and height? Or does it? Because if it needs to be 6 times the size, I don't know. Frosty, I'm on 3 hours sleep. I can't get out of bed. Just went to the OOP labs earlier because they are mandatory. Dude. Not good. Not good. Well, good luck with trying to get more sleep at least. Yeah, I do. I do recommend trying to get sleep if you can. But I know it's not always possible. Okay, so what are we doing? We are making sure that the 3D extents are the right size. Because I don't know if it needs to be the size of the image in total. Or, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna... Okay, what am I doing? Just read the documentation. So, that's the question I'm trying to ask. Extends. It describes the number of texels/pixels in each, it's important, of the base layer. No, okay, that would have been a mistake. What's the base layer then? Base layer. Now I've set this to 6 here. Array layers. Array layers is the number of layers in the image. Layers and level. It's not exactly clear if they're related, but I believe they are. MIP levels, that's just level of detail. I don't think anything else is in here that tips me off as something that needs to be much bigger or anything. Okay, is tiling limit. Yeah, we don't want any of this. We want optimal. What is this for? Hang on. Did you have computer architecture and organization as a subject in uni? No, I didn't actually. I had a lot of like business management, annoyingly. So I didn't get to do like as many cool courses. Like how to manage an IT team or something like that. It was mandatory, I had to take them. So a lot of my fun things were in year 2 of my university, and then year 3 was all about managing people. Yeah, it was not fun. Oh, and data cleaning, we had to do a bunch of that. Ugh. That was such a waste of time. Like I had to take my country's polling data and make a report on it as a dissertation. Ugh, it was miserable. And a lot of it was just like go into Google and use this software Google provides and basically do Excel data cleaning and do some data science. Oh, it was miserable. At that day, I didn't want to be a data scientist anyway, but I knew that day I didn't want to be a data scientist. My goodness. You know, hats off to them. I don't see anything in here. Okay. I think we're doing the right thing. I really do. Yeah, I think we're doing the right thing. Okay. This course is not cool, it's mandatory. It has binary conversions, performance calculations, and other calculations, assembly, coding in assembly. And now we have to make schemas and gates and XORs. It's so cancer. I'm in a software engineering, not computer science. Computer engineering. To be honest, it sounds kind of fun, but that's because I've had to learn. Well, when I can, I try to learn. I try to do the computer aware programming course, which is ran by Casey Muratori, and that's a lot of what you do is that. Not everything. It's not like we do XORs or anything like that, but we do write an assembly, simulate CPUs and stuff like that. So it doesn't sound too bad, you know. What's worse, like being a glorified Excel spreadsheet manager. That's terrible. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here at all. Is the offset wrong or something? Do we need the offset still? But we've got like small staging buffers. I don't really know. Oh, hang on. Do we need this to be 6? No, that'd be 6 every time. We're doing this 6 times. Okay, let's just check the... No, that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to check these guys in... So, image extents, image offset. Let me see... Is this the thing I was on? Okay, so image extents is the size of texels of the image to copy height depth. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. And if we're copying one, that makes sense, right? I'm just gonna make sure these are the right values. Did you see the Casey video response to Rye regarding... Oh yeah, I did. That was really fun. Yeah, that was really awesome. Yeah, that was like what I did yesterday. Like just before I went to bed, I watched the whole video. That was so sick. I love that kind of stuff. It's like so insightful as well. It's actually made me think about like my own stuff as well. Yeah, that was an awesome one. Yeah, but can you? But you imagine failed you failed structured programming and calculus from your first semester. Now you have to do web design, discrete maths, object-oriented programming, computer architecture at once in the second semester, and trying to pass by September. Wow, dude, that's done. That's tough. It's making me a better person though. I'm used to easy learning from school, but before uni, I'm becoming less lazy and hate uni because I actually tried. Yeah, you've got to study, dude. Yeah, 100%. I can't relate to anyone who's like found it easy in school. I found it difficult immediately. So yeah, keep up the fight, bro. I mean, oh, this is a sick song. Such a chill song. Yeah, I was never talented at anything. So yeah, fight. You gotta fight, bro. But I know it's hard because the university's kind of boring, and understand that, but good, you know, honestly, keep it up. Basically, I'm saying that because I want you to succeed, not because I think you're lazy or anything. Uni. What does uni... What? Sorry, what does actually uni give you? It's just short for university, so... I think Americans call it college. So yeah, it's just basically... I don't know where Frosty is. What country Frosty's in, but yeah, he's referring to university. Trying to get I assume an undergraduate degree. Yeah, I couldn't even get into university. They wouldn't even let me in. My grades were that bad. You know. So for me, that's why I love programming so much, because it's something you can teach yourself. And it's like you can just keep getting better and better and better. But anyway, I feel like I'm rambling a bit here. So let me just dig in a bit. I'm trying to think right now how... I wonder if I can set up version 2 of this function. Don't tell me there's 3. Oh yeah, 2 KHR. All right. What's the difference? Just the buffer's a bit different. Right, so let's try and do this instead, right? I can't imagine it's going to be that complicated to set up. Buffer, but at least we'll see more what's going on. I think transfer, because I really want to get this right. S type, and this is probably VK structure. Wow, dude, that's terrible, bro. US and Macedonia. So in your I see it's the same in every country. Do you use knowledge that you learned from uni? Me personally, no. Oh, congratulations on getting accepted, bro. Well, I'm rooting for you, bro. I'm rooting for you all the way. Wish you the best, honestly. It's just when people say like I had to learn to study, I had to learn to study like immediately, like in primary school, and I didn't learn to study because who learns to study in primary school? Yes, I was not very smart in comparison to other children. I'm just gonna look up the. Its IntelliSense is not helping me here, so I'm just gonna look up the. I think I'm already on it, but what's the S type? What is the S type? Can't you just see it? They're just going to list all S types that ever existed. Yes. Not good. Right. Let's try this again. VK structure type copy buffer to image info to KHR. Alright, cool. That's what I wanted. Initialize to oh, that's true. There was a couple of classes I did learn stuff from, like Python. We did a bunch of like data structures and algorithms in Python. That was fun. Okay, so yeah, there was other stuff. P regions, which I assume is this. Regions. No. Oh, this needs to be version 2. Yes. Okay. Not that. Okay, so what's the difference? So we have an S type here. Okay, I'm just going to copy this out just to see the differences. So sync to, we have buffer offset. I think it's just literally we're missing the S type and the P next, probably. Yeah. Alright. So this won't work unless we have the S type. S type equals VK structure type buffer image copy to. Cool. Right. So now that's gonna work in this fella. Copy region count is 1. And okay, next is the other random stuff that we need to do. So we want destination image, which is texture. Oops. Texture. VK image. And layout. Destination optimal. Okay, done those two. Now we need the source. So buffer, transfer, source buffer, which is the staging buffer. Alright, yep. P-next, image, layout, region count, source buffer, S-type, yep, got it all. Now we need to, oops, move to 2, and then we just put this in. Oops. So this cleans up our code a ton. Alright. That makes everything a lot clearer. Alright, let's go through this. Bro, you're the first and only channel that I found interested in my field. Oh, really? My channel? Keep it up, please. I want to learn as I go in the future using your videos. And it's awesome community. Oh, I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I'll keep going, man. Yeah, you too, man. You've got to keep up your studies and do well in school and become an absolute monster when it comes to programming. I believe in you. Okay, looks like we're good. And right. And yep, okay, so that transfers. Oh. Access violation. Interesting. I wonder why. Is that because the... Alright, we're just going to comment that out because I kind of want to leave that alone for a minute. I don't really care that much. Alright, we're just going to put it with like everything going to poop. Ooh. Interesting? Question mark? What on earth have we got going on here? Huh. What? What? Okay, let's throw this into RenderDoc. I don't know if we have the texture and I'm transforming it wrong. Oops. Let's yeah. Oops. Okay, yeah. So there's gonna be stuff not deleted because we haven't deleted the things. I am aware, but that's progress. That is a big W. Because finally we're seeing something. But what we're seeing, I don't understand. And that was really strange because we just moved from copy 1 to copy 2. I just wanted to do that for cleanness rather than... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do either. Stop. Go to release, do a build. Okay. So we're going to see if our texture is there in RenderDoc. Which would be exciting. Yeah, good luck with structured programming calculus. They're not trivial subjects. I've been doing a bit of maths recently. Just a bit of fun, more than anything, but it's borderline procrastination. What? Really? But if I run here, we get... Okay, so the shaders have definitely updated. Okay. Right. So let's take our shaders. Oops. Just need to copy this and move to our release. Place all our shaders and do that again. Cool. Okay. You know, I could see you're constantly moving at light speed. You're going that fast. Right, so let's go into render doc. Load settings, launch, yes. Oops, no. Launch, no, that's what I want to say. Cool, cool, cool. Let's capture a frame. Now, what do we see here? Sure, black, but in cube map we do actually have data. We do have data. Now, what do we have here? I don't know. Looks like we have one piece of texture. We have one texture. Since we have one texture, let's move backwards. Let's move backwards. We have one texture. Let's try and load 6. Let's try and load 6. We already know how to do this, but now we've got the transfer commands correct. We've now got the copy command correct, but all we're going to do instead is just, I pray and hope that when we do data, for example, and we do this for one staging buffer, we actually do get data. And yeah, I'm just going to get rid of this. So everything seems to be working as far as I could tell. Now we just need to try and do this in one go. And I think that's why the transformation of the cube map looks terrible. But we'll see. So that's that. We need the... So this is interesting. So I believe this is still 0, as far as I can tell. The next thing I want to do is layer count. Change this to 6, like everything else. And yes, you need to be 0. Layer count is now this. So we successfully got something into the cube map texture, which we haven't actually got done before. So that means the shaders are working, which is a big... Alright, now we need to go back. But like I saw in, what is it called? Render doc. We only have one texture in there. And that is not what I expected, so we're just going to try and do the same with this, just the same method, but all 6 instead. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's restart our music. You know what? The music player hasn't messed up that much today, which is great. Boo. Now the question is, oh, hang on. You know, I haven't done. There's something I made a mistake. It's image size. That's the wrong size. It didn't copy everything. Staging buffer. Do that again. So that wouldn't have worked even if it wanted to. No. Oh, we're so close though. We're so close. Yeah, ignore that. This is just a pointer to a piece of memory. Okay, I'm going to do something controversial. And just say this. Does this? We copy something. I just want to see something. No, it's just not going to work. Because it needs to be less, and that's not going to work. Okay, just, have you made tutorials on how to start with game dev? No, I haven't actually. It's a funny concept, that type of video, to me. No, it's not funny. It's like, I would like to make it, but I would like to be in a position where I've actually... Ooh, hang on. That's one image. Sorry, give me a second. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. I'm excited by something. Okay, let's put up with that for a minute. Okay, so while I'm pressing backspace, I'm going to say I would like to make that video when I'm successful, if that makes sense, or if I'm successful. Because I feel like it will be a bit disingenuous for me to make a video on how to succeed or how to start as a game developer if I haven't succeeded / done what I say in the video myself. So I'd be a bit of a hypocrite. And I would want to give people who are starting out like advice from someone who knows who knows what they're doing and has succeeded with that advice. Otherwise, that advice might not be any good. So yeah, you should look into specifically for 3D games with C++, not C#. Yes, yeah, I would 100% love to make that video. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like I'd want to make a video. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to be telling you to do something that, and then you know, it's like there's this concept in the language learning community. Well, So there are people who have come up on YouTube, I'm not going to name any names, who claim to be language experts who know like 1,000 languages or something. And oh no, what? This worked before. And they're just faking it basically, and then their idea is like they tell you how to become a language expert just like them. And I want to be an actual expert to tell and be able to tell you guys like, oh, if you want to do game development, like this is the path. This is a path that works. And to do that, I've also got to succeed myself. Because if I can't even follow if the path that I would recommend to people doesn't even work for me, then what's the point? No one should follow it. Oh, like, okay. One second, I'm just plugging in the laptop with the second monitor on where the chat is. It's just about to die. Okay. We're very close here. We're very close, honestly. Oh, I've just lost it, unfortunately. Oh, that was it. Aye, right. That should work. Okay. This should be the skybox, but I think it's translating wrong. So I'm just going to work with this for now. I'm going to mess with the shaders. I'm not saying that though. How to start, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I think I could do that. I think I could do that. First release of the engine. Good question. I don't know. That's a question I have no idea of. I'll There's tons of stuff I need to add, like a 2D render and stuff like that. But let me just pause for a minute. Okay, okay. What I'm gonna do is disable this. I just want to see how this is textured, because we are getting the images up to the 3D. Oh, go away, stupid. What does K even do? I'm only complaining because when I press Control K, it should comment, but if you press K twice, yeah. Okay, so we're going to see white, but the cube's going to be transformed by... Why is it doing that? Oh, interesting. Huh. It's close, we're getting there. I just gotta figure out why this transform's wrong. What is wrong? It's possible that my GL... is it a GL position? I don't think so. Okay, let's just try a couple of things. So this direction vector is what actually is transforming this texture, so I could try a bunch of other like transforms. So that's just upside down. Nope. So it's sampling over these textures. Ooh. And it is a cube, it's not like anything stupid. No, that wasn't it. Oh, I keep doing that. Let's say hypothetically, is there more things that you have to do to finish it? I mean, it can make stuff. I want to... Is there another YouTuber I saw making an engine with Vulkan? He's a very Aussie or British accent, I think. Yes, I know him. I know who you're talking about. That's Tokyo Spliff, and he is definitely more along than I am. He's definitely a more advanced program as well. So he's a great dude. I will get there myself. He's kind of demented, yeah. He's a quality fella though. Top bloke. Right, what do I need to do here? Right, it's just the transformation logic. So let's go into... It's just slightly wrong. I've got to remember that my depth is backwards. But I'm going to go to Learn OpenGL, right? The classic, the all-time classic. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, sorry this is just white. This is an older website. I can't make it black. No, not advanced lighting, advanced OpenGL. So all I care about is the actual GLSL code here, not the actual OpenGL code. So texture direction, but like what's the fragment shader? Sorry, vertex shader. Because that's correct if the sampling over the texture is correct. Yes. So, just position. just... What? Isn't the position calculated from the view projection? Like... Huh? What are you sending to the shader then if it's not the view projection? View projection... I thought it was just... you can get the vertex data here. A cube map texture is sampled using the local positions coordinates centered at 0, 0. Each of the positions in the vector. Sure, this direction vector is exactly what we need to corresponding texture. Yes. Yeah, but what is the uniform in OpenGL speak? Is it just this? Oh no, your view projection is that. Yes. So that's the actual position, which is fine. We do a little extra stuff because we're trying to reduce overdraw. I've just used Firefox for decades at this point. I used Internet Explorer, then I got told it was rubbish and then moved to Firefox when it had like a spinny little icon in the corner. I don't even know what version that was, like early JavaScript. And yeah, I like the fact that Mozilla is not a Chromium browser. That's pretty much it, honestly. You know, everything's Chromium, Discord, Steam, all the other browsers. Pretty much. Even Edge is now Chromium. But that's a holy battle I'm not willing to fight for, about which browser is better. If someone tells me that Brave's better, I'm just gonna say sure. I'm not gonna try and win an argument with that. Okay, so what did we do? We do a view projection. But the view, his view matrix is different though. That's interesting. He's doing that for the view matrix, not the view projection matrix, which may be our mistake. We're setting up a view projection matrix, which we can do, but we can change the view projection. We can change the view matrix, which is different from the view projection matrix, and then see if that changes things. So I'll do that in C++. Oh, it's already accessible on Linux. This does work on Linux. That's one of the promises I made in my video. Every time I make a big change in Windows, I go into Linux and fix it, or make it work in Linux. And yeah, it will run on Linux. You'll be able to Debian Linux. I'm not going to test them all. Cool. Yeah, anyone can use the engine, but I'm gonna be very. The engine is gonna be very restrictive. You're gonna basically have to know C++ to use it, because that's how I want to make the game engine. Oh, we're so close. What do I want to do? I want to change the view projection matrix. This is real quick. And then we'll see how we are. So this is... Oh. No, it's on a buffer device address. Ah, no, this is not what I wanted to do today. I'm gonna make another matrix here. Ugh, sad. Test view projection. Alright, so we're just going to call it test because I might not keep this around. Which means every shader needs to be updated now. Cool. Right, grab. And put this here. And does this need to be in this as well? Excuse me. Excuse me. Nope. There. I just hope this doesn't break everything. Okay, so it's now in a uniform buffer object that's slightly larger. Save all this. And not in the fragment shader. IMGUI doesn't use this. It uses descriptor sets, which I don't care about because it's kind of separate. Okay, so when we actually upload this piece of data, we want to only for the view box, the skybox, take a view projection matrix which is different. Okay, so in theory, we've got everything the same. Go to main. Are we in main? Yes. Go down to... Okay, so unfortunately we're in a buffer device address, so it's not like a uniform. We have to change it everywhere. And for this, I'm going to make a very simple change, which is for our test version. What I want to do is take our 3D internal camera and what I want is the view and projection separately. So, let's see if I can do this. So now we just need another function. Yeah, I can't mess up this one, so I'm going to have to make another guy here. Duplicate. Let's call it test, because again, this is just a test function. Calculate view projection. Let's call it skybox. Oops. Nope. Go up. Duplicate. No, that's not duplicate. Duplicate line. Skybox. And we're going to go into oh yeah, skybox, test, take this, cut, and do a similar thing where we make view equal to a mat3 skybox view equals. Can I do this? This is going to be very strange. Construct. Yeah, I'm going to go mat3 construct with I don't think it's gonna work. You want to use C++, nothing else? Perfect, fantastic. Why use structs instead of classes or subclasses? I use structs because I don't use any encapsulation. I don't feel like the need to. And structs by default, their encapsulation policy is public. There we go. trying to remember. So yeah, I don't use object-oriented design patterns or design ideas, so there's no inheritance in there is inheritance, but it's very limited. It's only used in very specific circumstances where the code would be a lot more. I only use it to reduce the amount of code I'd have to write. Now I am aware that reduces the iCache. You can't check the iCache at that point because you got a vtable all over the place. But how do I construct this with a matrix 4? I'm just gonna now. I don't think it's gonna work either. Now this is column major order, so I can technically go. This is scruffy as hell, but hey. Equals view. Right? Oh, yes. I was being a bit dumb there. I'm just going to make sure this doesn't work again, because I did the wrong thing. View. Disconstruct? No. Oh, well. Yeah, I'll do that. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sorry, this is scruff. Oh, that's true, it doesn't have a 3. Yes, this is the difference. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. And this is the same. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, and we want to. So, what are we trying to do here? I've got to think. We learned structs too, but we never used them. I only use classes and make them public. There you go. I don't encapsulate them because you get the same results at the end anyway. No real. It's not a real world app. I hate dynamic memory allocation with classes though. Holy. Yeah, you gotta be careful about that. I don't really understand it much. Yeah, well, if you're making everything public, it might as well use structs. It's just less typing. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. There's no... The compiler doesn't care. I'm being stupid here. What am I trying to do? What is the results of this? Just removing translation. Really? I thought I already do that, bro. Oh yeah, you've got to initialize then if you're going to allocate memory. Okay, gang, I'm going to share a Discord link for anyone who hasn't joined already, who may be interested in our little community. Paste this in here. Now we are so close to being done, but I'm getting very tired, so I'm gonna have to call it. I'm like, I can feel my mental facilities getting less and less sharp. So I'm just gonna keep making little mistakes like I've just made there. So we do have a skybox. It's just translated wrong. Yeah, and I've got to go to sleep to figure out how to do this properly. So yeah, I wish anyone the best. I thank you so much for anyone who turned up, and I appreciate everyone. You know, yeah. So have a good night, good day, good morning, wherever you're up to in the world today. So yeah, see you hopefully soon. Yeah. All right.